Hello again. It's that time of the week where we look for our Strength of the Soul card, guidance for the week to come. You might want to think about a specific area that you'd like some guidance for. That's always a good idea. Or you might just be happy to get some general guidance for the week. Let's see what we turn up. Oh, the power to change direction. Whoa. What does this say? So that the image on the card is train tracks. So the train can either go that way or that way. And what are you going to choose? As the power to know that you have a choice, really. The power to change direction frees us from the continuation of situations that we've outgrown. We humbly flex and flow. We don't stick to plans that are clearly flawed. We follow the call of our spirit to take another direction, committing fully to the new path. And we give thanks for all that we've learned and have gratitude for our past. So even when we do need to change direction and go a different way, I think a lot of us look back with agitation, anger, resentment, all that sort of thing. That doesn't do good things to our overall vibration. And in fact, it's a much better strategy to try and come to peace with it is. I didn't want it to be like that. I didn't plan for it to be like that. I'm sure everyone was doing their best, but the situation is, bleh, I'm going to go in another direction. But I'm going to try and do so from a place of what's the learning? What can I take from what's happened? How have I benefited from having gone through this situation? What are the new strengths that I'm carrying forward into the rest of my life? And that's the way to make the best out of a bad situation. Anyway, the pitfalls, obstinacy. And from time to time, I think we all have obstinacy. And we can dress that up by saying, I'm committed. So what's the difference between commitment and obstinacy? I think it's really a question of degree. One has to choose the right level of energy in anything at the right time for the right thing to happen. And there are times we have to pull back and we have to let go. Needing to be right is another one. Well, I've invested 10 years in this plan, project, spiritual path, or 20 or 30 years. I can't now say that it was the wrong one because that will make a joke or a mockery out of my whole life. I still think that's not looking at things in the right way. What have you learned from where you've been? And now you recognize that it's time for change. Feel free to have that change if that's what's going to feed your soul. Because you're here on earth actually to feed your soul, and everything else is going to be transient. But whatever you learn in terms of virtues, inner strength, goodness, kindness, these things come with you to wherever you go next, whatever your beliefs are after you leave your body. And these things will go with you to create a whole new adventure in the future. These are the important things and the things that you're remembered for as well. So the clearing is, I release all stubbornness, inflexibility, and rigidity from my body, mind, and energy field. I release the need to be right. I release all attachments to how things were and to outdated decisions. And the blessing, I listen to the call of my inner wisdom and I flow where it takes me. I give myself permission to change and to grow. As I said, life is about the growth. It's about what's the goodness that's become inherent in us by the end of the incarnation. I don't know anyone who gets through their life without problems. All we can hope for is to get through with as much ease and grace as possible, knowing that we will have to develop some strengths and that this is part of the purpose of life. Anyway, this week, have a check-in to see what is it that you're holding on to that possibly you may have outgrown, and then what would love do now? What would love do now in terms of self-love and love of others in a balanced way? How could you bring this situation to a fruition and then to a completion and move forward in a different way? So blessings to you. And may this happen for you with as much ease and grace as possible. Namaste.